Hey guys, it's Plant Genius, and today we're going to be talking about apical meristems. I know I brought them up multiple times, but I want to get into it and show you guys a little diagram so I can kind of show you what they are and what they actually do in your plant. So let's get into it. Okay. So this is our apical meristems. So what an apical meristem is pretty much an area of cell division. So this would be the embryo and a seed. So the embryo and a seed is pretty much the plant, right? So there's an apical shoot pretty much and an apical root. So these are the two cell division areas where this one will be defined into growing to the shoot system, and this one will be defined into growing to the root system. And there's also a meristem called the lateral meristem where it grows outwards pretty much. It grows outward and inwards, and it also grows in like the circumference of it. So it'll grow like circular, like all around. So with the plants, there's pretty much three areas of cell division. Well, three areas when the cells are dividing. So there's the area of maturation, there's the area of elongation, and the area of cell division. So like as as the cells keep dividing in this area, right? They're gonna come out, right? But then they're gonna be placing cells behind themselves, right? And then the older cells will start to mature and they'll start to differentiate into the specific type of cells they are. So these will differentiate into root cells, right? And then these cells will continue to elongate, and then those will become the older cells, and they'll mature, and then the process keeps going. So it's pretty much grow out, grow like produce the cells, elongate, and then mature. So that's kind of like the whole little cycle that goes on with these. And kind of same thing with the apical with the shoot system, but it'll be differentiated. Instead of them being roots, it'll be shoots. So you'll see like the branches, you'll see like the new leaves, things like that, right? And so again, the apical meristems are supposed to grow up and down, right? So these are the shoot and this is the root. And then the lateral meristem, this is something that kind of comes into play more so when we're talking about secondary growth. So, well, what primary growth, if you guys know, is that's when a plant initially grows, right? So that's when like you're seeing a seedling coming out, it's germinating, and it's starting to like get settled. It's growing its first leaves, first true leaves, and it's starting to grow. But the secondary growth is when it's already established, and now it's starting to thicken, and that's where the lateral meristem comes in. Because remember, it's going outward and inward, and then the entire circumference gets thicker, and that's because it grows so the plant can support more of the leaf's mass in the branches, so it doesn't end up falling over and breaking and falling. Now, for a lot of like trees, like they have lateral meristem, but theirs kind of go a little farther because some lateral meristems and some plants are dormant or um no, lateral meristems are in there, but the vascular cambium can be dormant, which is kind of another lateral meristem in a sense. And if that's dormant inside of a plant, then they won't get to like be lignified, which is what happens to trees, and that's when they turn brown, kind of. So, well, they turn brown because they're dead cells, but that lignification happens as a product is that of that in a sense. So again, going back to these, so the apical meristems, they grow up and down, and then they have three zones: maturation, elongation, and cell division. But technically, cell division, elongation, maturation. So this is where the cells are created, then they elongate, and then they differentiate where they actually become root cells. Same thing up here, but just they become shoots. And then again, lateral meristems helps it grow thicker so it can support itself. And then yeah, that's all it is pretty much. Understanding what the embryo is doing in those states. So they grow up, they go down, and they thicken. So I know that might have been a little bit of a lot, but it's again, it's good to understand the anatomy and how things work. So then when you're growing your stuff, you're like, okay, like I know why this works the way it does. I know why this does the thing it does. And again, like if you guys need help, let me know. I'm here to answer any questions, guide you. Remember, like I may be a plant genius, but you can be a plant genius too. So I thank you guys for watching, and peace.